Welcome to English Podcast with Nora. Here we learn simple English for real life. Slow, clear, and step by step. Are you ready? Let's learn together. Hi, everyone. My name is Nora. Today, I want to tell you a story about my trip. I visit a new city, a place I've never been before. I feel a little nervous, but also very excited. There are new streets, new people, and new food. Are you ready to come with me? Let's go and explore this city together. After many busy weeks at work, I feel tired and stressed. My mind needs a break, and my heart wants something new. So, I decide to take a short trip to a city I have never been to before. This morning, I pack my bag and take the train. I sit by the window, watching the trees, buildings, and little towns pass by. The sky is blue, the sun is shining, and everything feels peaceful. I smile and take a deep breath. It feels good to leave my routine for a while. After about 2 hours, the train slows down and stops. I have arrived. I grab my suitcase, step off the train, and look around. The station is big, and people are moving quickly in all directions. For a moment, I just stand there, taking it all in. The noise, the smell of coffee, the sound of rolling suitcases. I feel a mix of excitement and nervousness. But mostly, I feel free. I whisper to myself, "This is it, Nora. Your little adventure begins now." I leave the train station and start walking toward my hotel. The street outside is full of sounds, cars, people talking, and birds singing in the trees. I roll my suitcase behind me and take my time, looking around. Everything is new to me. I pass by small shops, colorful signs, and a little cafe where people sit outside, drinking coffee and smiling. I stop for a moment in front of a bakery. The smell of fresh bread is so warm and comforting. I take a deep breath and continue walking. After a short while, I see my hotel. It's a small, cozy building with flowers in pots near the entrance and a big glass door. I walk in, and the quiet of the lobby makes me feel calm. The light is soft, and there's a gentle scent of lavender in the air. A friendly woman stands behind the reception desk. She smiles at me and says,
Hello, welcome.
I smile back and say, "Hi, I have a booking." My name is Nora. She checks the computer, nods, and hands me the key.
Room 304.
She says,
Enjoy your stay.
I thank her and take the elevator to the third floor. When I open the door to my room, I feel happy right away. The room is small but very clean. There's a bed with white sheets, a desk by the window, and a painting of the sea on the wall. I walk to the window and look outside. I can see a quiet street, trees, and people walking by. I put down my suitcase, take off my shoes, and sit on the bed. It feels soft and comfortable. I smile to myself and whisper, "This is perfect." Then I stand up, take my phone and water bottle, and say, "Let's go explore." I step out of the hotel and begin walking down the street. The city feels alive. Everywhere I look, something catches my eye. There are people sitting at outdoor cafes, talking and laughing. A man plays soft music on a guitar near the corner. I pass by a bookstore with big windows and a flower shop with fresh roses and sunflowers in buckets outside. The air smells sweet and a little bit like coffee. I stop at a small park and sit on a bench for a few minutes. I take out my phone and take a photo of the trees in the sunlight. Children run around playing, and a dog barks happily in the distance. I smile, feeling peaceful. Then I continue walking. I don't use a map. I just follow the streets and let my feet take me where they want. I find a narrow alley with little lanterns hanging above. It's quiet and beautiful. There's an old man selling postcards and handmade keychains. I stop and buy a small one with a picture of the city's skyline. For memory, I say to myself. After walking a bit more, I find a small plaza with a fountain in the middle. I sit on the edge of the fountain and rest for a while. I hear different languages around me. Tourists, locals, families. Everything feels warm and gentle, like the city is saying hello to me. I close my eyes for a moment and think, I'm happy I came here. After walking for a while, I start to feel hungry. I look around for a place to eat and see a small restaurant on the corner with a red door and wooden tables outside. The menu is written on a blackboard in front of the entrance. It looks simple but inviting. I walk in and a young waiter greets me with a smile.
Table for one?
He asks. Yes, please, I reply. He leads me to a small table near the window. I sit down and look at the menu. There are many dishes I don't know, but that makes it more exciting. I choose something local. A pasta dish with vegetables and cheese, and a glass of fresh orange juice. While I wait, I look around. The walls are decorated with old photos of the city, and soft music plays in the background. The place feels cozy and full of charm. Soon, the waiter brings my food. The plate looks colorful and smells amazing. I take the first bite and smile. This is delicious, I whisper. The pasta is soft, the sauce is rich, and everything tastes fresh. I eat slowly, enjoying every bite. I take a sip of my juice and feel refreshed. Outside the window, I see people walking by, holding hands, carrying shopping bags, or talking on the phone. I feel like I'm part of something bigger, a quiet moment inside a busy world. When I finish my meal, I thank the waiter, pay the bill, and step outside again. I feel full, happy, and ready to keep exploring. After lunch, I decide to visit a place I saw on a travel blog, a museum that's not too far from the restaurant. I walk slowly, enjoying the warm afternoon sun. The streets are quieter now, and I take my time looking at buildings, little balconies with flowers, and the soft shadows on the sidewalk. After about 10 minutes, I reach the museum. It's in an old building with big windows and stone steps at the front. I walk in and buy a ticket. The woman at the counter gives me a brochure and smiles. Inside, it's cool and quiet. My footsteps echo a little on the floor. The first room has paintings, bright colors, soft brushstrokes, and faces I don't recognize, but something about them feels familiar. I move slowly from one piece to another, reading the short descriptions in English. In another room, there are black and white photographs of the city many years ago. I stop and look at one for a long time. It shows the same fountain I sat by this morning, but in a different time. That makes me smile. After the museum, I walk to a small park nearby. There are green trees, flowers, and people sitting on benches. A few children feed birds near a small pond. I find a quiet corner and sit under a tree. I open my notebook and write a few words about my day so far. I feel calm and connected, like I'm not just visiting the city. I'm becoming part of it, even if only for a little while. As I sit in the park, enjoying the shade and writing in my notebook, someone sits down on the bench next to mine. It's a woman, maybe a little older than me, holding a book and a coffee cup. She smiles at me and I smile back. For a few moments, we just sit quietly. Then she looks over and says,
Are you visiting?
her voice is kind and curious. Yes, I say. It's my first time here. She nods and replies,
It's a beautiful city. I've lived here all my life.
we start talking. Her name is Sophia. She works at a nearby library and likes to come to this park to read during her lunch break. I tell her I'm here for a short trip, just to rest and explore. She asks what I've seen so far, and I tell her about the museum and the fountain. She laughs and says,
That fountain is where I met my husband.
we both laugh, and I feel something warm. Like I'm not just a tourist, but someone sharing a moment. She gives me a few tips on where to go next. A little bakery with the best cake, a quiet street with old houses, and a lookout point where I can see the whole city at sunset. I write the names in my notebook. After a while, she checks her watch and says she has to go back to work.
It was nice meeting you, Nora.
She says.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I wave goodbye as she walks away. Meeting Sophia was unexpected, but it made me feel welcome. Like I'm not so far from home after all. After leaving the park, I decide to follow Sophia's suggestion. I walk through a quiet neighborhood with small, colorful houses and trees lining both sides of the street. The air feels cooler now, and the sunlight begins to change. It becomes softer, more golden. I check the map on my phone and find the way to the lookout point she mentioned. The path takes me uphill, past a few old buildings and a staircase with flowers growing along the wall. When I reach the top, I stop and smile. The view is stunning. I can see the whole city from here. The red rooftops, the winding streets, the river that runs through the middle. The sky is painted in soft colors, orange, pink, and purple blending together slowly. I sit on a stone bench and watch as the sun begins to set. Everything feels quiet and still, like the city is holding its breath. A few other people are here too, but no one says much. We all just watch. In that moment, I feel peaceful and full of something I can't describe. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's gratitude. I take out my phone and take a photo, but I know the picture won't capture what I really feel. As the sun disappears behind the hills, I whisper, "Thank you." Not to anyone in particular, just to the moment, to the day, to the city that has welcomed me so kindly. I sit there for a little longer before I slowly stand up and start walking back to my hotel. The sky now turning to soft blue and silver. I walk slowly back to the hotel. The streets are quieter now. Shops are closing, lights are turning on, and the city begins to rest. I pass by the same little bakery I saw this morning. It's closing for the day, but the warm smell of bread is still in the air. When I reach the hotel, I feel a little tired, but in a good way. I take the elevator up to my room, open the door, and step inside. The room is just as I left it. Calm, clean, and waiting. I take off my shoes and sit by the window. Outside, I can still see a few people walking, cars passing by slowly, and the glow of street lamps. I open my notebook again and begin to write. I write about the museum, the cafe, the park, the view from above, and of course, about Sophia. I don't want to forget any of it. I feel different somehow. Lighter, like the city gave me a small gift. Not just memories, but something deeper. A little more space inside myself. A little more peace. I close the notebook and place it on the table. Then I get into bed, pull the blanket over my shoulders, and smile. I whisper, "Thank you, city. You were good to me." I turn off the light, close my eyes, and fall asleep, with a happy heart ready for whatever comes next. That's the end of today's story. I know this one was a little longer than usual, but I hope you still enjoyed it and understood most of it. Don't worry if you didn't catch every word. Just try your best. I put the full story, new vocabulary, and useful sentence patterns in the description below so you can check and learn more. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That really helps me keep going and sharing more stories with you. Thanks for learning English with me today. See you next time. Bye.